Hi everyone, Artemis here. Today I will show you how to make your very own Friday Night Funkin glass picture frame. You can use this technique to make any character you like. You can make this for yourself or give it to your friends or your family. Let's get into it. What you're going to need is pretty simple. You'll need a picture frame that's 8x10. You can get these at dollar store. This is where I actually got it. You'll also need some paintbrushes, a pencil, acrylic paints, and a fine tipped Sharpie. Next, you carefully take out the glass and place it on the paper and carefully trace around the glass. This way you'll know where your space of your drawing will be when it's finished. Make sure you have a reference nearby so you can draw it as accurate as you want. It's also a good thing to have for a color reference. And I begin to draw in Boyfriend. For those of you who may not know this character, Boyfriend is the character you mostly play as in the game Friday Night Funkin. He is trying to beat the antagonists who are trying to stand in the way of his love for his girlfriend. And yes, you're not hearing me say the word twice by mistake. Her name is really Girlfriend. The game itself is mostly a rhythm-based game that's actually got some really sick beats, and it is a fun game to play. The characters have some unique designs, and I love the colors that he used for them and for the backgrounds. It's really so cool to look at. Once you finish drawing your characters, I recommend you take a look at your reference, so that way you have a good idea of what you're going to be doing if you need to do any touch-ups or whatever you like. It's also good to have on hand for when you're going to paint. So this next part, you're going to put your glass on top of your sketch and get your Sharpie. If you make a mistake, you can use a paper towel and make it damp and wipe the area. And also you're going to have to dry it so that way it doesn't smear. When you're ready to start painting, flip your glass and start going at it. I also recommend for painting you use some Q-tips. I use the ones that make smoother edges, and I also have pointy nail Q-tips, which will help with the extra details. As you're painting, make sure you keep your sketch behind it so that way you know which side you're on. And make sure you do one color at a time and let it dry. When doing this, you have to have one color at a time and make sure it fully dries. You'll need to do several coats for each color. I recommend having a color reference close by. You should try to chart out where the shading is and work on that first. But if you want to work in a different area, that's fine too. But remember not to accidentally paint over where the shadowing is, or else you can't go back to do it later. Painting on glass is way different than on paper, so I wouldn't recommend using very much water. Only time that I would say would be good is if you're changing colors, and make sure you dry your brush a little bit so it's kinda damp but not too wet. Overall, painting on glass takes a lot of time and patience, but when you're done, it looks absolutely beautiful. I start to add the color to the boombox and car that Boyfriend and Girlfriend are on. You don't have to paint the background for this. Once everything dries, you can always get scrapbook paper and put it behind the glass in the picture frame. And when you're done and it's fully dried, you can flip it over, and this is what it looks like. Once you finish the glass painting, you may notice there's some smudges from when you try to maybe erase some of the lines or the paints. So what you're going to do is you get your Q-tip and you wet it a little bit, and you go over those areas and try and get rid of where the paint marks were. Once you finish doing that and your glass painting is fully dry, you can carefully put it in the picture frame. The reason why I keep saying be careful is I kept cutting myself by accident with the glass, so yeah, please be careful. A good thing to remember, please do not wash the front of the frame like you would for a normal picture frame. The reason why is it will smudge and you'll lose all of your Sharpie lines, and it'll be a real pain in the butt to try and draw it all over again. And you don't want to get rid of all your hard work. Anyways, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Until next time, see ya!